Alright, today we are looking at the Jinhao X750. This is a pen that I only recently became aware of. It was a pen that I ordered from one of those sites like Temu or AliExpress. I think it was actually AliExpress. What caught my eye about this particular pen is the nib. So in this video I'm going to show you the listing that I bought it from. This is not sponsored. I have no affiliation with the vendor, at least at this time. But this is an interesting pen. I think this is a nice feeling pen, and I thought I would share it. So, details to follow, as they say. This is the package it arrived in. It's a, I don't know, fairly generic looking metal, I'm guessing some kind of low-end aluminum case. We'll work on the focus here for a second. The case itself has a hinge and a tab. That was the bottom. And there's the pen. It comes wrapped in this plastic. Note the foam material inside the case. So right off the bat, the thing that catches me about this pen is it's metal. Similar to, I think, the material used in the Jinhao 159. Not the X159, but the older 159. The cap clicks on. There are threads, no threads, excuse me, inside the cap. The nib itself is steel, has some etching on it, and a interesting amount of tipping material, which we'll see in a moment. This is a cartridge converter pen. This pen came with a decent sized converter. The barrel itself has metal threads, the section has metal threads, they lock in together nicely. This is not like the converter on the 9019 that screws into place. This is more of a standard converter. It more or less pressure fits into place. Let's get this inked up. Today we'll be using Sailor Afternoon Tea. This is an ink that I like. It's very similar, a hair lighter, and a shade different from the Diamine Ancient Copper. We'll get this cleaned up and we'll get working on a writing sample. It does post, the cap's a little wobbly. I generally do not post pens. Friends don't let friends post pens. My big fear is always the potential for the cap to mar the barrel material, to mar the finish on it. Alright, let's start this writing sample. I maybe should have squiggled a little bit before doing this. It's the first time this pen's ever been inked. Maybe we should start this over. That's exactly what I've done. So this nib is interesting. This is a 1.2 millimeter long knife nib. Steel, obviously. Well, not obviously. You're not holding it in person. The ink again is Sailor Afternoon Tea. No tea was harmed in the making of this video. But a fair amount of coffee was drunk. So you can see with my line scratching here the line variation that is possible with a long knife nib. This nib is capable of providing a very thin downstroke and a much thicker cross stroke. And if you are comfortable holding and manipulating this nib in your hand, you can see that an even wider variety of line variation is possible, such as with the downstroke on the P, the cross stroke on the loops of the P, and the more medium looking writing of the other letters, lowercase letters, as I held the pen nib in a slightly more elevated position. We'll quick brown fox this. That lazy dog. So, how does this pen actually feel? The cap spins. Like I could hold this pen by the barrel and rotate the cap around it easily, which has me a little bit worried about the seal. I have owned this pen for exactly 2 hours at this point. This is the first time I'm using it. I have no idea if this pen is going to be one that's prone to dry out. Generally speaking, with the variety of pens that I own and use, I generally do not have a pen inked more than a week or so. I don't leave pens laying around. I blow through the ink too quickly. Most of my pen use is very utilitarian, so I do a massive amount of note-taking, and I go through a lot of these marble notebooks that I'm using today, which I buy on sale because only the best will do, and that is sarcasm. This is junk paper. But I go through an awful lot of office supplies just for note-taking, just for work-related things, and as a result I go through a fair amount of ink, and my pens see a fair amount of daily use. So I don't know if this is going to dry out. The nib is stiff, nicely stiff. I feel like I could write with it all day long. The pen itself, the materials, have a very premium feel to it. This feels like it could be a pricier pen than what I paid for it. This is the ad. So you can see there are 4 different nib types. You see that double layer nib in the picture? That is super nice. But when you select either of those options, you're effectively doubling the price of the pen, and I opted for just a 1.2mm long knife as a result. It's available in several different colors. Let's get a closer look at this nib, assuming camera focus is going to work for me. This autofocus is a pain. We're going to have to do something about that. And we'll use my pasty fingers to help set a fixed focal range. Let's see what we can do here. So that's the nib. Look at how sharp that is. Doesn't it look like an architect? These long knife nibs are really very nice. Look at the heart-shaped breather hole in the top of the nib. And, well, let's do a size comparison. I guess we haven't done that yet. We'll do this caps on. This is the Jinhao X750. This is a Mahjong P140, slightly longer, almost half an inch. This is a Jinhao 9019, no, X159. And this is a Monteverde Ritma, just a hair shorter. And finally an Asvine C80. So nice size pen, not too big, not too small.